Everyone, it's Nicole, and do you remember this stack of paper that those are actually the start of page kits? I was going to get them ready for my last crop, and then I ran out of time. Well, I'm going to a crop again in 3 weekends, so I'm starting a whole lot sooner than just 2 days before. I plan on getting 30 page kits done, and I think there was 30 in here. I had just put them in one of those baggies, and I have a lot of questions like, where do I get these baggies? We had gotten them like in packs of hundreds, so it was through like a warehouse thing. But if you go to the dollar store and you just look for oversized baggies, like this is like 13 by 16, and I've seen those at the dollar store, and there might be only 8 in a package, but you get to use them over and over and over again. Like these baggies here, I've probably used them, maybe 50 times each, and I just keep, when I'm done with them, I just fold them, put them in a bag, and then reuse them over and over again. And sometimes they end up with rip. I just tape them over with some washi tape, and I just keep using them. So I have this stack of pattern papers, but then now I need embellishments to go to the next step. And I might try to do some of that in real time. We'll see how it goes. But this is a pile of embellishments. This is what is left over from my Scrapathon 3 that we just did back in March. And so this is a lot of the embellishments that I have left. Now for this, I'll put you on fast forward because I got to go dig through all of this, and I'm going to separate it. I think I'm going to go with color. And then this time, once everything's all separated, I'll separate it in this iris tray, and then I'll start making page kits. So it might be at the end of this video where I start making page kits. It depends how long this takes me to divide colors, but I figured instead of chatting, well, this is pink and I'm going to put it in the pink pile, and this is green, I would just do a quick voiceover, and then I'll do some of putting the page kits together in real time. So here we go. So I've had so many people ask me, so Nicole, what do you do with all those leftover embellishments and leftover pattern papers that are left from your page kit? And this is exactly what I do. As you saw, that big stack of page kits, a lot of them are scraps. So I keep, whenever I make pages from page kits, I keep them all together. And then the very next time that I put page kits together, I'll grab that and try to use as many as possible from that stash. Now there's a lot of pattern papers that are still photo by 12 by 12, and some are smaller. Then I have that blue basket that you just saw. I have a smaller one on my desk. It's a little square plastic tray that I put my embellishments as I'm done page kits, but that quickly fills up really fast. So I bought this bigger basket that I keep somewhere else on my desk, and whenever that little tray becomes full, I throw it in that bigger blue basket. And then when I find that the basket is really full, I just go through it and separate it. Now most of the time I separate by color. So I make a stash that's blue. Now I don't make a different pile for the different types of blue. If it's turquoise or a navy blue or a baby blue, I just put all blue together, and I put all yellow together, orange, pink, red. And then I make a pile of, I put all my neutrals together. So I'll put my browns, my black and white, and my grays all together. Because of my iris tray, I don't have that many openings. And I found that between the black, the white, the gray, and the brown, it fills up, a smallish part of the container. It's not as much as the blue and the pink. We've talked about a lot of times that it seems that manufacturers, when they make collections, they do a lot that contains blue and pinks, and you're going to be able to see when I put everything in the iris tray that is so true. Like the biggest tray is the blue, and then it's the pink, and then the rest of the trays are smaller and smaller. Now, dividing all these embellishment does take a bit of time. I can tell you exactly how long it took. It took me 28 minutes to separate everything by color and then put it in my iris tray. But I can tell you that the amount of time that I saved by doing that is probably a whole lot more than that. Because if you can only imagine, if every time I was trying to put a page kit together, that if I had to sift through all this mess, it would take me forever. And then by doing this, whenever I take a page kit out, if it's yellow, I can go right to the yellow pile. If it's blue, I go right to the blue pile. Now, over the years, I've tried different ways to separate these piles, and one of the ways was very recently. I decided to, instead of separating everything by color, I decided to separate everything by shapes instead of color. So I went and put all my circles together because I knew that I'd be able to use that as my embellishment foundation. And then I put all my puffy stickers together, and I put all my buttons and my enamel dots, and that way. And that worked okay. One thing that I'm going to keep from that is, and I did it for this, is I put all my word stickers or word whether they were in circles, if it had a saying on it, I put it in a pile. And I found that that was really helpful, because when I do my embellishment clusters, a lot of times I like to use some little word stickers or word phrases to finish off my embellishment cluster. And that's what I found, that even after doing page kits for over 12 years, that I changed the way I make the page kits to fit my needs. And that's the great thing. If this works a certain way for me, it might not work that specific way for you. But by doing page kits, you do save a lot of time. But just try different things and make it fit what works better for you. But I've had so many people send me messages or in person tell me that making page kits to go to a crop has helped them make a whole lot more pages while they were at the crop. And just from the last crop that I went to, I didn't have time to make page kits the way I normally do, and I still managed to make 12 or 13 pages, but that's very little compared to my 24 to 27 pages, which is what I normally do on a weekend. My goal for this time is to make 30 page kits, and then we'll see how many I get done. And the funny thing is I'll make those 30 page kits, and then I'll say, well, I'll bring, this one collection extra with all the embellishments. So in case I get all those done, I'll have extra stuff that I can get done. Which, that's fine, that's only one collection. And I found also, since I started making page kits, I don't have to bring 3/4 of my craft room with me to a crop. I just bring whatever I have within those page kits. I bring a little bit of maybe extra cardstocks and enamel dots. I bring mixed media stuff. I bring sprays and that kind of stuff, but everything fits in a very small container. And usually I don't find that I'm missing anything. So now I've separated everything. I'm going to put everything in the iris tray. And now that that's all put together, we're going to put 5 page kits together real time. Okay, so now we're going to start putting some page kits together. This is what my tray looks like. Now, I don't have a lot of embellishments that I can use as embellishment foundation, so I'll go grab some labels so that I can use that. And then I also have these that I can use as embellishment foundation, so I'll keep them close. But I'm going to try and use some of these. I mean, it's hard to believe that I did 33 pages using all the embellishments that I had put in the page kits, and I still have all of this left over. So this is sort of like their second chance to make it onto a layout. So I'm going to try to make some layouts again, and that's what I find, that I get to use some stuff maybe that I wouldn't normally grab for, is if I put them in page kits, if it doesn't make it to that specific page kit, I just keep making page kits with what I have. And sometimes I'll bring in some new stuff just to add, to kind of spice it up a little bit. But I'm really going to try to use what's in here. I'm going to bring in a few little different things, but I'm going to try to use what I have there. So I'll go grab a few extra things and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is what I brought in as extras, because again, I want to make 30 page kits, so it's going to take quite a bit of stuff. So I brought in some more labels, and then I have a bag full of labels here. These I got printed at Staples near me, and they were all like digital files from Studio Calico, and I got these printed like years and years ago, and I'm still using them like a lot. And then if you saw one of my latest hauls, I did get some new stuff. So I want to make sure that if I bring in some new stuff in my craft room, that I use it in the near future. So I'm going to bring those in. So there's stickers here called Summertime, Maggie Holmes Sunny Days. It's sticker sheets. There's 8 of them. Maggie Holmes, I think it's from the same collection, Sunny Days. The 6x12 sticker sheets, some alphas in pink. A lot from Pink Fresh Studio. It's probably one of my favorite companies right now. This is from the Everyday Musing, the ephemera pack. This is Out and About, the ephemera pack. So a ton. So if you want to see one of my last hauls, I go closer to the viewfinder so you can see everything. Some tiny alphas, some chipboard from Joyful Day, Pink Fresh Studio. Some more alphas, Joyful Day, Pink Fresh Studio. Again, some words from the same collection. Some tiny alphas from Joyful Day. Out and About, the 6x12 stickers, which it has, labels and stuff. Then this is puffy stickers from Everyday Musing. Some labels from, or phrase stickers they call them, from Everyday Musing. Puffy stickers from Joyful Day. Some ephemeras from Joyful Day. Some layered stickers from Everyday Musing, which is hearts. Some travel tags from Out and About. And puffy stickers from Out and About, so cute. And more Out and About. And then I brought in the crepe paper Wild Heart. Now, one thing I'm going to do for these page kits, I'm going to go print a whole bunch of pictures from my last trip, which was a cruise. So I'm going to do that in 2 days on Friday. So I don't know which pictures I'm going to be doing, but I know I'm going to be doing a lot of cruise pictures. So I'll keep that in the back of my mind. And I'll just start making some page kits. So I'll just have this off to the side. I'm going to move my trimmer because I don't need my trimmer right now. I'll just put my tray with all the embellishments, and then I'll just have one page kit on my table at a time. But I'm not too sure where they start and where they end. So, did I put one of these in between? I hope so. This looks like it could be a page kit. So I'm going to start with this. I'm going to put these to the side. Another thing that I have next to me when I make some page kits is my EK Success powder tool. And this is from, like I said, EK Success. I have a link in the description box below to Amazon where you can find them. It helps take the stickiness away from the stickers, and then I can put them in my page kits without it sticking everywhere. This is probably the tool that I get the most questions about, is this. Now, another thing that I keep really close is my wax paper. Because at one point I'm just like, oh, I'm so over taking away the stickiness. And then I just stick my stickers on the wax paper. One word of caution though is that if they stay on there too long, they will stick to the wax paper. You can still use it, you just have to cut around. And then you have to use, you know, a different glue to glue it down. But I'll keep this close in case I do get to that point where I'm like, I'm just done. Another thing I keep really close is my little index cards, which is like little recipe cards, because I put one of those on each page kit. I can put, if I think of some pictures, I'll write them down, because as I'm grabbing some embellishments, I think of, oh, that would be great to do for those pictures, so I can write them down. Sometimes I think of a title before I even think of pictures. I'll write the title, or I put a piece of washi tape that I want to use with that kit. So I'm going to keep my pen there, keep everything close up. So basically, oh, I don't think this went with this one. This went with the other one, so we'll put it with the other one. Now, one thing that I started doing is when I make my page kits, I put one of these in between, because then I don't have to think about where that paper kit starts and where it ends, because sometimes when you have a lot together, it can get confusing. So I know that I want to use some of these for this page kit. Now, because there's so many on here that I know that, you know, I might want to use on a purple page, or I might want to use on a yellow page, I'm actually going to cut out the ones that I might want to use with this. I may not use it, and that's fine, but then it leaves me the opportunity to use it somewhere else. Now, putting these page kits together does take quite a bit of time, but when you get to your crop, it's going to save you so much time. I just went to Crop and Create at the beginning of March, and I ran out of time. I really did. I really wanted to make some page kits, but this is as far as I got, was putting the pattern paper kits together. Now, I did bring them with me, and, you know, I brought a whole bunch of embellishments thinking, you know, oh, I'll end up using that, but I felt absolutely no inspiration to take those out. I didn't end up making one page with what I had put together, and I know it's because, you know, I had no inspiration. I had no pictures in it. I had no embellishments, so I just kind of winged it. Still ended up putting, I think, like 12 pages, which is I mean, it's pretty good. It's not bad. But normally I put over 20 pages, so it did make a huge difference. I did end up chatting quite a bit at Crop and Create, which I don't regret at all. I had a blast talking to a whole bunch of, you know, different girls and stuff, and so that was fun. And sometimes when we went out for supper, there's one night, ended up meeting one girl that was from Toronto, like really far away, and we ended up chatting with her. I'm sure it was close to 2 hours, and she was so interesting, and she was so fun to get to know, and so that was fun. And I was sitting with my roomie from the cruise, so we got to chat quite a bit. We went out to lunch quite a few times, and supper and all that stuff. And then I got to stay in a hotel room with 3 more girls. And then we had some other girls from where they live, which is not far from where I am, maybe 25 minutes. And they had an adjoining room, and oh my goodness, we had a blast. So if you have a chance to go to a Crop and Create, And even if it's in your vicinity, try to get a room. Like, we were 4 in a room. Yeah, it was a lot of people in the room, but you know what? It was fun. And really, it was more like it was 8 because there was people that was adjoining to us, but we just kind of scheduled it. I made sure that I had my shower at night so that people that wanted to take a shower in the morning, it didn't affect them. And, you know, you just kind of work around it, and it worked out perfectly. And it was so much fun. So see, this I can use as an embellishment foundation. I can use these tags for embellishment foundation. So I'm doing good for embellishment foundation. These can be for embellishment foundation. I'm going to move that blue one. Okay, so I got quite a bit for embellishment foundation. So I don't feel like I need to put any more like labels or that kind of stuff. Now, the fun thing about dividing these by color is right now I know it's pink and black. So I can grab a few things that are pink and black and put them on this layout. And then the page kit comes together really quickly. And I like that. That's probably one of my favorite things. Now I have to say, I've been doing page kits for, how long have I? Probably 10 plus years. And years ago, I only made page kits when I went to crops. And then one day I had to make a page for YouTube, and I was like crunched for time, and I was like, oh, I'll just grab one of those page kits so I can, you know, get a page done, and then, you know, I'll still be able to kind of put the page up like I said I would. And the page came together so quickly, and I was like, oh my goodness, why am I not making page kits for at home? And I think I had like 25 page kits that were put together, and I was kind of just keeping them there and not using them so that I could use them at my next crop. And I was like, well, that's just silly, you know, just use them. So I went through the whole 25 page kits, and, you know, pictures, because when I go to a crop, I put pictures in my page kits. And so there was pictures sitting there that hadn't been cropped for, at that point I hadn't gone to a crop in a long time, so probably 2 years. So they were sitting there for 2 years, and I'm like, why? They need to be, you know, in an album or on a page. So I could scrap them all. And sort of like, I never looked back. I've been doing page kits ever since. And I love doing that. I love having page kits at the ready. And even though I'm, you know, home and part-time, I still work, you know, but I work part-time. I still have other obligations that I have to do. I'm still a mom. I still have to cook. I still have to clean the house. And I have other sort of commitments. So I don't know what I did with my scissors. How is that even possible, right? That you lose stuff when you just used it. But anyway, and believe me, my craft room is clean. If you saw in one of my last videos, I cleaned up my craft room, and I've been keeping it up. So as soon as I'm done this, I won't allow myself to go downstairs unless I have everything picked up. Although tomorrow I won't be up in my craft room because I'm working. But even though the next day I'll be coming up and doing the same thing, I don't care. I need to keep this room clean, because that was a lot of work to get it back to the way I like it. Now I forget what I was going to say. So yeah, you know, you have other commitments. So if I can cut down the amount of time that it takes me to get some pages out, I'm going to do it. Okay, that looks like a nice little pile. I didn't even go through these, but I'm wondering if I need to. I don't want to put everything on the first few page kits, and then as I get to, you know, page kit number 20, have less and less stuff. Another thing I might do too, because this is my new stuff and I just love it, even if I don't put a lot in my page kits, I might still, because it's not a lot, it's just this much, I might still bring it along with me. Now, another thing that I do for these page kits, and I might just do it after I put the pictures in, is I'll number them. P1, P2 for page kit 1, page kit 2. Because before I go, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to put the pictures in there, and I'm going to do the journaling on a bigger recipe card. And the recipe card, I don't slip them in there. I keep them together, clipped together. And then when I put the page kit together, I just go through my journaling card. And then when I transfer the journaling to my page kit, I can chuck that journaling card, and then it's done. Because I cannot journal when I'm there. I can't think of like words. It's better if I just do it ahead of time, and then it's done. So page kit number 1. Woohoo! Only 29 to go. But like I said, today's the 10th, and I'm going on the 28th. So that's 17 days. So like I said, I work tomorrow, but then I don't work on Friday, Saturday, and then I work again next week. So in the next few days, I'm going to make sure to, was that with this one or the other one? I'm going to make sure, it was with the other one. I'm going to make sure to put as many page kits as I can together. And then I'll be ready. Because the last few days, I'd like to just be able to pack up the little bit of stuff that I might need. Make sure that my journaling is done. I know on Friday, this Friday, I'm going to go and print my pictures, because those take about 5 days to come in. So I don't want to sort of put that off, and then I don't have pictures to scrap. Because I'd like to scrap. I mean, I have tons of pictures to scrap, don't get me wrong. But I want to scrap some new pictures, and I don't want to print them all with my Canon Selfie. I like to just use my Canon Selfie when I just want to print like a picture here and there. I don't want to have to print like, you know, for 30 page kits, like 120 pictures, because it's not cheap, you know. So I'd rather just use it whenever I'm like, yeah, I want to do a page today and I don't have the pictures, so I'll print that off. But if I can plan, then I go to my local pharmacy and get a few hundred pictures printed, because it is cheaper to do it that way. Okay, so a little bit of red embellishment. I got some labels, so that's my embellishment foundation. And then the next thing I look is, you know, how can I finish off the embellishments? Now this has, you know, red and black. There's other colors. I can bring in a little bit. I love pink and red together, so I could do that. I could bring in some more black. I'm going to put that in there. Maybe that black heart. Maybe a black label. A black frame. I find it goes. That has both writing the hearts. This is just a scrap, but it's perfect for embellishment foundation. So I'm going to bring that in. I love using frames for either the journaling or an embellishment foundation. I'll cut the frame in half. So I'll bring that in. I'm going to bring that in. Then I start looking at what I have. So I have stuff that I can use as embellishment foundation. I have quite a bit. And then I have stuff to use as, you know, I call them embellishment finishers. I have only a few. I have a few hearts. More embellishment foundation. Usually I don't separate stuff like this, but I just want to show you this is what I'm thinking. More stuff. The more stuff that you can use to tuck in within your embellishment cluster, the fuller, the more finished that your embellishment clusters will look. So that's what I'm looking at. Now, let me see if I can find maybe a little bit more embellishment, you know, finishers. I can look maybe if there's little... One of the things that I really love to use is enamel dots, for sure. But I love using puffy stickers, chipboard, that kind of stuff. So things like this. Words. I love using words to finish off embellishment foundation. And what I did was when I separated everything, I made sure I put all my words together. Because then if I didn't put them now, it's something I can easily put in a little baggie and bring with me to the crop. And another thing that is very different from the way I do my page kits when I'm at home, you know, that the ones that I'm going to keep at home and the ones that I'm going to take with me, is exactly that. The ones that I do for a crop, I make sure that I put in there as many as I can. One, because if I don't use it on this page kit, maybe the next page kit, I'm going to find that it's lacking. And as I'm finishing my pages, I'm gathering my pattern papers. I put them to one place and all my embellishments. And then as I'm doing more and more layouts, I can go to those and kind of use whatever was left over and use them as to finish that page kit. Or sometimes what I do is I'll do a page kit and I'm like, hey, I still have a ton of embellishments and pattern papers left in that page kit. I end up doing another page kit right there with whatever's left over. I love doing that. Now, I usually don't take the time to put things back in those, but this is such a new collection to me. I want to make sure that everything stays together. I want to use them as much as I can before I divide it up like this. Because I don't buy a lot of stuff all the time. You know, I basically, oh, there's labels in this one. Yay. Basically once a year. Now, basically in March. Now, when I go to Crop and Create, I buy the bulk of what I want there. But then this year I just saved some of my money and I bought some from Simon Says Stamp because I'm so in love with Pink Fresh Studio. that I wanted to make sure to get their new collection. I was like, I have, because all the stuff I bought last year is, I wouldn't say maybe all used up, but I have used a lot of stuff from what I bought. Oh, I cut the tip of the heart. Oh well. Okay, now I'm just going to put some enamel dots because that's a nice big pile. Some enamel dots, and the ones I wanted I threw away. I'm going to put some black ones. I try to use whatever I have left over before I go open a new package, only because I found I had so many packages opened. So now I keep them in here, and I try to, you know, even though it's not the perfect match, I use them because I have too many enamel dots open. Now another thing I'll do is, you know, I'll show you, I don't know if I'll show you actually picking the pictures or, but I'll show you what the page, finished pages looks like. Another thing I do is I go get a cardstock for each and every one of my page kits. Because I don't bring a lot of stuff, I don't bring a stack of cardstock. So I make sure that I have coordinating cardstock for every page kit. And then the only colors that I bring sort of extras, I bring a pack of white, a pack of black, brown, and gray usually are the colors that I bring extra. Okay, so this is gray. This is like creamish with some gray polka dots, gray, pink. Oh, love it. So number 3. I think today we'll start with 5 because I'm going to put this with separating all the embellishments. So that will be one video. So the first part will be voiceover, and then the second part will be real time. Now, I don't know if I'll do all 30 pages real time, because as much as I can talk, I'll probably run out of stuff to talk about. Okay. But I'm looking forward to going to the crop. One of my friends, she is a snowbird, so she's been down south all winter. She's back. Hi, Karen. So she'll be picking me up and we'll be traveling together. My other friend, the one that's putting the crop together, she's a busy lady. Hi, Ev. So I don't get to see her very often. I'll cut this out. So I'll get to see her all weekend. So I'm happy about that. And then some other friends that were my roomie from the cruise. Hi, France. She's coming the same weekend, so we're going to get to chat. I miss her. She was a great roomie. I couldn't have picked better. And so I'm looking forward to spending time with my buddies. And scrapping a whole bunch. I'm glad I'm starting to feel better because I was sick for 3 weeks, man. As soon as I would start, think that I was starting to feel better, I would get sick again. It's like, oh, seriously. Not bad sick, just annoying sick. My son ended up with strep throat. It's like, okay, enough. We are done. Here's some words I'm grabbing those from the word because I know I like to finish off with words. So I'm going to grab a few of those. I'm going to start maybe going through these a little bit more. Can't help it. I just love those so much. Nope, the pink is off. Oh, these are so nice. So fun. I am loving. Oh, I like that perfect moment. Oh, I did it again. What did I do? There they are. I'm going to put them right there. They're not allowed to leave here. Ouch. They're sharp. Okay, so this says perfect moment. Like I said, I don't know which pictures I'm going to do, but I know I'm going to do a ton of cruise pictures. I'm going to go get those printed off. 2 days. I have to make myself accountable that I'm going to go do that. I don't want to wait because they'll be in the next week, and then I'm going away the weekend after, so it gives me just enough time that I'm not gonna sweat it kind of thing. A lot of times what I do, I just cut stuff right off of these. I don't worry about keeping those, you know, perfect. It doesn't bother me. You know what? I bought them. I need to use. I need to use them. I need to have them on layouts. Oh, this is going to be a little harder to put together, so I'm just going to put it there. But before I go downstairs and go on with my day, I am going to put all this stuff away. So for the next little bit on my channel is going to be getting these page kits ready and getting ready for a crop. I'm even going to do, you know, packing for a crop and all that good stuff. So this is number 3. I'm going to put a little card right in there. So 2 more. And then we'll move on to the next. Now, my plan is to have these go up every Friday for now, but I think I'm going to have to put them up a little bit more often than that if I can get them up and ready. Do you know what I mean? So if I can, I'm recording it on Wednesday, the 10th. So this will be going up on Friday. I don't want to use that because that says National Park. And we're going to a national park this summer. So I don't want to use it and cut it up for something else. So I'll keep it. Let's see if there's any other yellow. Yep. Okay. Now this is what I mean. I want to keep everything like this. I will take the time and put everything back because I don't want this to get messed up with anything else. I don't mind using it, but I want to keep it together because like I said, I think I'm going to pack these up and bring them with me. So I have a little extra embellishments. I can put these away. I'm trying to keep this clean so you can kind of see. See this, I can cut the blue leaf. That doesn't bother me. I'm not thinking theme right now. I'm just looking at color. I'm putting enough. I can cut this off and then just use this as an embellishment foundation. So basically just for color. Same thing with the lemon. You won't even know it's a lemon. It'll just be for color in the background of my embellishment foundation. I don't use too much of my yellow embellishments because I think the page right after this is also yellow. So I have quite a bit of embellishment foundations. Now I'll start looking for yellow embellishment finishers. I can put that little sightseeing. Oh, don't cut it. I'm going to move that little airplane closer so I don't have to cut all the way in. So one thing I do try to do is not make it so it's like 50 pieces. I try to make it so that it stays as much in one piece until I can start cutting away, and then it's not 1,000 pieces. Let me see, that's the wrong yellow. Not the right yellow. Don't think there's anything in there. Ha. I like this one. The other one says coffee date, so that I'll use for another layout. I know exactly what pictures I'm going to use too. So I'm going to keep this with that so it doesn't get separated. What about in here? Nope. Okay, let's look at these travel stories. I like that. On the go, I like that. Okay, let's get those two. I think the next one is yellow and brown also. Oops, it stayed in here. Now I like this one. Then I like this one. I'm just going to switch the places on those. And then, so I didn't use my powder tool very much this time. I think it just depends on my mood. Sometimes I like using it and I use it on everything, and then other times I'm like, gotta get things done, and I don't use it. Oh, I love that. I like the word precious. I like that word beautiful, but okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move this over here. That dot, and then I'll just need to bring the word beautiful. Now, one thing I like to do with these because I can't stand it that they move around, is I take my stapler and I staple it to that cardboard. One, it's going to stay with the package now, and two, I'm going to be able to put it in here a whole lot easier. I'm not trying to hold on to 3 pieces. It's just that piece. Okay, I'm feeling good about how much stuff I have in here, but I got to finish it off with, if you hear that, that's the garbage truck. Hopefully the dog won't bark. It's garbage day. Okay. There, and a few little hearts, and that's done. Oh, that goes with the yellow. Ooh, this was embellishment cluster we had put together. Should I put it with this one? You know what? The next page is yellow. I'll put it with the next page kit. And it'll be one embellishment done. Okay, so this is page number 4. I need, oh, I have that. Perfect. I need a bag. And that's page number 4. Now I'll try to see how long it took me to put 4 pages together, and then I'll kind of decide whether I'll do them in sets of 4 or 5, 5 or 10. So this is yellow and brown. I'm going to take this embellishment number 1. So I'll put them in groups of 5 or 10. This time I did, like I just said, I decided 5 because I'm going to put dividing all these up at the beginning of the video. So I'm going to put this for embellishment foundations. Trying to look for stuff that I can use as embellishment foundations. I love this, and I think I have that roll somewhere. I can use this as an embellishment foundation. I can use this just as a finisher. Okay, where? There. These are like a little pad of these little circles. That's kind of a graph, and they're perfect for embellishment foundations. So where I have half of one here, I'm just gonna, they're almost like post-it notes, so I'm just gonna stick it there. That was the only wood veneer, and it has awesome there. I can bring that. One thing that I'm probably going to bring with me on my crop is I have these 6 little containers, and they're the ones that you would probably use the most, like the potty people, the birds, arrows and hearts, stars, cameras, and chevron. So that's not very big to bring, so I'll probably bring that with me. So if I want to add anything like that to any of my pages, it'll be easy for me to just grab it and put it on the page. Oh, look at that, brown and yellow. Perfect. So yeah, it'll be either videos or of 5 or 10 page kits that I'm going to put together, depending on how fast I can put these page kits together. So I don't think I want them, let's say, longer than 45 minutes or 50 minutes or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. And what I would love is to be able to put them all up, excuse me, before I go to my crop. So when I come back, then I'm going to bring my tripod and my camera, and I'm going to film every single page that I make. So then as soon as I come back, then you can start seeing the pages of the page kits that I put together. So that's my plan. That is my plan. I like this little word believe. I'm going to switch it out with the so happy. And then I'm going to cut this out. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing with this. It's really close to the side, so I'm going to do each side separately. The other side, the other one, I had a little bit more leeway. So I don't want to, almost did. I was going to say, I don't want to punch through some stickers. Okay. I'll take this, I guess, on the go. See why I went for my, oh, this is, oh yeah, I was going to say this isn't coming off, but it is. The thing with the powder tool, you gotta kind of prime it, right? So you gotta shake it so that the powder comes out, and then it's done. So now it won't stick until you add more sticky stuff to it. So here's another one that okay. Oh, and this side has none. Okay, so let's do it midway. Ah, I'm out of staplers. Oh well, I got one in there. That's good. Okay, so that, does that look like enough? Have a lot of embellishment foundation. Don't think I have enough embellishment finishers, but I'll get those. And then I want some brown enamel dots. I know I have some because I took them out. Not that long ago. Oh, there they are. I knew I had some. So I'll just take this between the brown and the yellow. That'll be enough. And I cut the strips of enamel dots, and then that way everything's in here. I don't have to worry. If I forget my enamel dots, I usually bring a little bit along with me, but if I forget them, each page kit. Oh, where's the E? It was not in the package. Because when I first looked at it, it was like that. Oh, that's sad. I was going to use it on this page. That's sad. Okay. A while ago I was trying to figure out what word it was supposed to be. And now I see that. I thought it said spark. I could use it for campfire. Oh well. Okay. I could do this. All good things must come to an end. Talking about our trip home. don't have a lot of embellishment foundations on this one. Bring that. Okay. Anything else? Let's see over here. Those are, oh, I like that. Where I have a frame there. I like the frame on top here. I just want the frame, not the flower. Okay, one frame's enough because I'll probably cut this one in half and then that's one. So it kind of ties in using frames. Okay. Now I have a ton of embellishment foundations. I have a few words that I can use as finish off my clusters. I have some flowers here. Let me see if I have any other things that I could put. This is my embellishment finishers. Okay. Oh, there's really nothing in here. As you can tell, I still lose my voice. How about this cutie? Okay. I really have nowhere that I can switch it up, so I'll just take it out. Those. Let me okay, sorry, I have to have a coughing fit. So I like these. They'll be a nice way to start my foundation if I don't like those, or sometimes I like to use two of them. So what I'll do is, before I start making the next 5, I'll take my 5 page kits. I'll go to my where I keep my cardstock, and I'll choose a cardstock for each and every one of my kits, because especially, well, this one does have a cardstock, but the one before that didn't even have a full 12 by 12. So I have to make sure that I have a cardstock base at least, because when I'm going to be on my crop, I won't be able to just get a cardstock. So I have to make sure I have everything. So like these arrows, these are from Becky Higgins. They're for Project Life, but I use them in my page kits. Okay, well, this is page number 5. So you'll be seeing this on Friday the 12th. And like I said, okay, sorry, my phone rang. So you'll be seeing this on Friday the 12th of April. And depending on how many I can get done, so from here till the 28th, I'm hoping if it's 5 page kits per video, then you'll be seeing like 6. And if I do 10, then it'll be like 3. I'm kind of thinking it's going to be 5 because it does take like 15 minutes at least per page kit. So that seems like a good amount of time. But that's it. So this is sort of like part 1 or part 2, because we had chosen our pattern papers way back in March. And now we're going to be putting our page kits together and finishing the loop, you know, adding our pictures, journaling, and packing for a crop. So that's it. I want to thank you so much for watching. Bye.